Welcome back, everybody. We are on part two, which means it's time for the hot tags of the week. And there's only three I really felt like talking about. There's been some other stuff that has happened throughout the week, like Rey Mysterio's kind of done in WWE. Well, good. That's all fuck that. Uh, but let's just knock these three out of the way before we get into the big main event of the night, because that's going to take a little while, and we don't want this to be a 4-hour podcast or anything. But
Nope.
let's see. Number one here, Paige and Alicia Fox are going to be joining the Total Divas cast. Drew, you and I are, I think, the only two people that watch Total Divas here, and I've been
Yes.
struggling to watch this season because this season
Oh
is
yeah.
fucking terrible. You think this is
Oh
going to
yeah.
help, or do you think that's going to just keep the bad trend going?
I don't know if it's gonna be bad, but I doubt it's gonna be any good. I mean, I could see Alicia Fox being on it just because I don't know. I could just see Alicia Fox being on a show like this, but it's getting to the point now where they're just bringing all the divas in on it. So maybe they're trying to incorporate everyone into it. So I don't know. And when it comes to Paige joining it, that whole anti-diva thing she had going on in NXT, yeah, that she is definitely far from. That's definitely not her thing, which is going to be weird now because what is Paige's thing that sets her apart from all the other
She's pale
divas?
and British.
Yeah, that's it now. There's something special about her, and I think this might hurt her honestly in the long run. It does nothing for the show. If anything, it'll just hurt Paige because Paige has, I don't know, maybe she's like so fucking entertaining that it'll help the show. I don't know, but other than that, she sticks out like a sore thumb. It's kind of like with JoJo the first season because she's so fucking small and fragile. You get this really white, pale British girl who's probably really bitchy. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to watch. At least I'll check it out next season because this season's like, but we'll see what happens.
I don't get the mindset behind it. Like, are they bringing her on because they think she'll bring more ratings because of her fan base in the WWE, or do they think that she's not clicking with most fans, and so they're going to put her on Total Divas so that she can get more fans?
I think it's the second one. If it because I think because she kind of has like the guy following, like the NXT following, like the internet following, which is mostly guys. You see some females in the crowd who will cheer for Paige, but Paige doesn't really have that following yet. So maybe I think it's more along the lines of that than whatever the hell you said for the first option, because I'm spacing now. But the second option, yes.
I just wonder how much of a crossover appeal the show really has. Like, do people who are fans of Total Divas really do come to watch Raw, or is it just one of those things to where Total Divas is its own thing, it's got its fans,
Well,
and that's pretty
I'm
much it?
pretty sure it's
Well-
like exclusively wrestling fans, but I think it's wrestling fans who went and watched that, not the opposite.
Well, it's like this. When I worked at the pizza place I worked at, I know two girls from work who they didn't watch wrestling per se, but they watched Total Divas and they loved it.
Right. I've seen a
But,
couple
so-
people that are kind of like in that same boat. Like, somebody's like girlfriend doesn't like watching wrestling, so she starts watching Total Divas, and then that gets her more into watching Raw because it's like I can follow Total Divas because that's kind of, targeted towards women, and I can follow the whole bitchy thing. And then, oh, look at that, it's the people that I watch on that other show. I guess I'll sit here and watch Raw for a little bit, 'cause, but it's certainly not, drawing in a huge audience where like these people that don't watch wrestling and have no interest in wrestling at all are checking that out and then going, holy crap, I should start being a wrestling fan. It's
Yeah.
like
No.
you need some kind of an outside catalyst to get that going. So, Paige isn't going to bring in people in. Alicia Fox isn't going to bring people in. At this point, the audience is there or it's going to
It's
get
not.
lost. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a show. I mean, it's an okay show because I find it. The only thing I really find interesting about the show is that like it kind of like goes behind the scenes of wrestling, and I think that part's cool. And I like watching Natty and TJ fight because it's fucking funny. Because
Jay.
TJ, yeah, the cat. I forget the cat's name, but the cat died at one point, so they got a new cat.
Fact.
I don't know. They say the
You're just
cat's
laughing
name,
at
but
the dead cat, you
Natalia
asshole.
keeps just screeching it, so I don't pay much attention. It's always just like me, 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 and it's like fuck shit. I gotta fast forward it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm about done with that show in general. So we'll just have to see. I highly doubt this is gonna make anyone come to it, but we'll see if what happens with it.
Peyton, is this gonna make you start watching because Paige is on there?
Only if she gets naked.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think it's
Sean will
happening.
watch it if Paige is on it, I bet.
He's gonna lick that chicken.
Yeah, no, I don't understand how Paige fits this all. She's supposed to be the anti-diva, so I think I said this on the Raw post show. Unless she's going to be on like some really pouty, really against everything they're doing and being a hard time and healing it up, I don't understand what her role is going to be on this show at all.
Trish.
Any thoughts on this, Wago?
Don't give a fuck, and you're sad if you watch this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everybody who watches this is at least partially sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mango, us too. Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fuck you, Wago. Asshole.
Let's see, another hot tag here. WWE has added domestic violence policies to their talent wellness program under the morals clause. So now it's not just drug related, it's also going to deal with domestic disputes. It's going to deal with if you get into fights with people, it's going to be a lot of different stuff like that. Do you guys think that this is a good idea, or do you think this is kind of overstepping the boundaries a little bit and adding too much and things will get kind of fall by the wayside?
Section 2 under paragraph, Alberto Del Rio slaps someone.
I think.
Yeah, I think there's reason for this. It's good to have all your bases covered.
Yeah, the only reason why they're doing it is because of the issues the NFL is having with their domestic disputes right now, and I haven't seen like what exactly happens with certain things that come up, but it's probably gonna be something similar with the NFL where first time offense, short suspension, after that it just gradually increases until you're released or something like that. So we'll just have to see what it does. But yeah, this is just an attempt to make WWE look better, just in case something like this happens down the line, mainly because of what happened in the NFL.
Peyton and Miguel, any thoughts?
It's basically a PR move. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not much you can say else about it. I mean, I wonder how serious they are going to take it. If they're just going to, it's just going to be a situation where if something like this happens, they'll just kind of, depending on whoever it is, they'll probably just brush it under the table. But, you hate to be cynical when it comes to stuff like that, but it's the WWE we're talking about.
Yeah, I guess Stone Cold is happy this wasn't around when he was wrestling. I wonder if this counts for the women, too.
I would assume it does.
Women are always domestic violence victims, though, in this day and age. That's the kind of world we live in.
Not Tiffany.
It's the Taran clause. Let's see here. The last hot tag to talk about. This is something that we were going to maybe talk about last week, but we had some other hot tags to talk about that took more precedence. But it became a bigger story this week. So we definitely got to talk about it. WWE.org was a domain that was not owned by WWE. And they took that to court. They won the rights to that domain name. And now the original owner is going on this big fucking tirade. He's threatening to take WWE down. He's throwing a bitch fit about it and whatever. Now, this is odd for me to say because at one time I owned WWEnetwork.com. But I completely agree. WWE owns the rights to that. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of that, because I was just like, you know what? I wouldn't stand a chance in court for this. I'm not going to try to hold this over their head for money. They're never going to pay me for it. I never would end up getting the money because I have no right to it. So this dude with WWE.org, the website was originally, from what I've heard, it was just sort of like a little hub for some random links. So the guy was clearly... he had that because he knew it was a valuable name. Not that he was using that, he's got the World Wildlife Fund, WWF kind of a thing. This was just a way to cash in. So, fuck them at a certain point. Like, you lost, you tried something, it didn't work. WWE owns that. They should have WWE.org. They should own anything that they have the fucking rights to. And I just think it's hilarious that this guy's trying to make a big deal out of it and say that he's going to take WWE down. Like, yeah, okay, dude. Go ahead and try. That'll be hilarious to watch that happen. So who wants to tag in? What do you guys think about this?
If he really wanted to make a stance, he would have tried to make his website called WashingtonRedskins.org.
Yeah, between Sam Mushnick and Phil Donahue and United States Supreme Court, Ted Turner, This is just a short list of names of people who have tried to take down WWE and Vince McMahon and have failed. So good luck to this guy.
What he said.
Wait, go.
Oh,
Any thoughts?
Did I mention Bob Costas?
Yeah, but he deserved it though. If you saw that interview, he clearly deserved that.
Thanks, Waco. Yeah, this guy is a fucking moron, and I'm pretty confident it's Ken Jones.
What are you like, Cunt Jones?
Well, he beat
Well,
this
okay,
argument.
I'm just putting it out there. WrestlingContent.com is down.
You mean Jeff Ozone?
He's taking on this whole tirade or tyrant about it. So, yeah. I'm linking Ken Jones directly to this guy.
What if that ends up being like the big scoop?
You heard it
It
here
was
first.
me all along. It was Ken Jones.
Yeah, and then he'll commit suicide on YouTube again.
That's what his website did. But
Yeah.
there's hot tags for the week, everybody. Make sure you leave your comments below with your thoughts on these topics and anything else that happens that you guys want to talk about. Maybe we'll pick up some of them next week and talk about that. But we're going to take a break, and we're going to hit you guys with the rest hold, and that is why we've got a yawn going on here. A little rest that we're going to take. Then we're going to come back, and we are going to start talking about Hell in a Cell predictions, so stay tuned for part 3, part 4, and everything else that we have coming your way.